Hi everybody, my name is Lily and I am the book reviewer behind Utopia State of Mind, and today I'm going to be chatting with you about my favorite audiobook narrators. So, apologies for the voice. If you saw my last video, you will know what happened. If you've been following me for a while, you will know that Natalie Naudus is probably my #1 favorite audiobook narrator. I mention it all the time. It's interesting because for me, before Natalie Naudus, I would always listen to a book based on what was in the book, right? But then after Natalie Naudus and after I discovered Natalie's narration, which I just severely enjoy, I've started now listening to certain books that are narrated by a specific audiobook narrator. And that's kind of what I mean when I say Autobuy audiobook narrator. I'm looking more at projects audiobook narrators are choosing. I have followed Natalie on social media, and so I know a little bit, or you see a little bit about kind of the choice that goes into for an audiobook narrator to choose a project. And so I've looked at it more sort of like that and sort of curating a list, curating projects I really enjoy as well. And so that's what I mean by Autobuy audiobook narrator, and Natalie is the first one who kind of made me think about that and the first one that this applies to. My next Natalie Naudus audiobook I'm very excited for is actually Natalie Wrote a Story, which is, I think, called Gay the Prey Away. Gay the Prey Away. So I'm excited because Natalie also obviously narrates that one, so that will be my next one planned, except I also have my hold, as you know from my last video, for Finding Mr. Right. I also have a few that I've pre-ordered specifically because Natalie reads them. My second one is that I've always really loved Emily Woo Zeller's audiobook narration. I think the last one that I've read from Emily Woo Zeller, let me just check. I heard one the other day, like randomly, which I didn't even realize that it was narrated by Emily Woo Zeller. I think the first one I listened to that was narrated by Emily was The Book of M, which I really enjoyed, specifically the narration. But the one I most recently, and then Emily also narrates in The Poppy War, and so the entire Burning God series. The Bone Jar Daughter. The next one on my TBR from Emily has to be The Water Outlaws. You saw that also in my last video. Let's see, what is the first one? Yeah, I don't know. You can see that Emily has narrated a lot of really interesting projects. I'm also excited for The Crimson Crown. I see that Emily narrated The Downstairs Girl, which I really enjoyed, Six Crimson Cranes. So just like a bunch of things that I really enjoyed. And so Emily Woo Zeller is definitely one of the ones that has made it into my audiobook Autobuy narrator category. And then thirdly, it is Moira Quirk. And Moira is probably the latest addition to the bunch. And actually, mostly because I listened to Moira narrating the Gideon the Ninth series, which I really enjoyed. So that was probably the first audiobook I can remember, specifically narrated by Moira. But as well, when I look through Moira's catalog, The Bone Houses is pretty high in my TBR that Moira has narrated. Long Live Evil, I really, really enjoyed. And I can imagine that Moira is going to have a really fabulous time with that. I love specifically that Moira's narration, you can hear a lot of the humor and hear a lot of the kind of wry quirkiness, I guess. Quirkiness. Unintentional pun. I'm also excited for The Last Hour Between Worlds and Blood Over Bright Haven. So in general, just a lot of things that I'm excited for. The Day Death Stop, which I really enjoyed, The Day Death Stop by Rebecca Thorne. So in general, there's so many books that I've really enjoyed in general that are narrated by these three authors. And I think that's indicative of finding tastes and finding narrators and projects that really work well together, whether that means that someone ends up narrating a lot of projects that have similar themes, projects from similar imprints or houses, projects from similar authors. I feel really, I feel really good in the fact that when I go through their past works, everyone's past works, I see a lot of overlap, and so it kind of solidifies my top 3 picks. And so I just wanted to chat with you all about audiobook Autobuy Narrators. I would love to hear down below what some of yours are, mostly because I think it is an interesting idea to kind of change the perspective that we look at audiobooks. What am I looking for an audiobook? If it's multiple narrators, or multiple POV, I'm looking for multiple narrators. I love full cast audiobooks. I love audiobook sound effects. The most recent one I think that I can think of that has this is Morning Glory. So I love it feeling a little bit cinematic. I think that for multiple POVs, I enjoy having audiobook narrators, especially when it is a full cast or multiple narrators, because it helps me in my mind keep track better and quicker. I think that's the most important part, quicker, the differences between the perspectives. I think you get it when you read it in physical copy or read it audiobook or read it on ebook, but I think an audiobook, you hear it and it somehow just makes it a lot clearer, quicker. So that's what I was thinking about when I thought of this video idea. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.